Hi guys, so here I'm Rory here, co-founder of Sublime Trading, here with a daily update for the UK and US indices for Thursday, the 25th of June. Alright guys, hope you're well. So yesterday we saw a bearish day across the board, that's both in the US market and the UK market, but we've got to always keep these moves in perspective. It was a fairly bearish day yesterday, but if you look at an individual candlestick on its own, then you're not going to get the right picture of what the market is actually doing. We always must look at what that candlestick is doing in relation to the overall trend. Now we know that price has been stuck in a range between the high and the low of June, and the bearish move of yesterday has not taken price out of that range. Price is still within that range, so for now we're still waiting for a breakout. And remember, when price is stuck in a range, there will be whips or movements up and down, and this is where people lose a lot of money, especially when they're day trading. This is where the smart money stand aside, apply patience and wait for the breakout. Now also, it's always important to look at where price is in relation to key areas of support and resistance. So we saw a bearish move yesterday, but where is price in relation to support levels? So on the S&P 500, we can see prices at the 200 simple moving average. If we look at the Nasdaq, it's pulled back to the 10,000 round number. If you look at the Dow Jones, it's somewhere between the 20 simple moving average and the 50 simple moving average. And if you look at the FTSE 100, it's finding support at the 50 simple moving average. So all indices have pulled back to a key level of support. What we want to see is these support levels hold strong, a bounce back to the upside, and then potentially a breakout and a continuation. If these support levels are broken, then we need to look at where the next key levels of support are. But for now, as long as these support levels hold strong, then we have nothing to fear. We still need to just apply patience and wait for the breakout and let price dictate that breakout. So here at Sublime Trading, we're standing aside, we're remaining calm, we aren't panicking like a lot of people will be. We've got a process in place, we've got our risk well managed, we've got stop losses in play, we've got absolutely nothing to worry about. These are movements within the market. These are part and parcel of trend structure. Price just doesn't move in a straight line. I've mentioned this many times. Price moves, it pulls back, then it moves, then it pulls back, then it moves. You may go into a period of consolidation. Price movement, the natural movement of price is very much seasonal. So if you're not aware of that, then you need to start understanding the seasonal movements of price. As we're coming into summer, the volume tends to drop off. People go on holiday. Institutional traders move away from their desks, so it's normal for price to move into consolidation over the summer months. Whether that will happen now with COVID-19, whether we'll see more volume, whether price will continue to remain consolidation, it's anyone's guess. What we do know for now is that price is still very much bullish, and that is our stance until price dictates otherwise. So for now, standing aside, looking for these support levels to hold strong, waiting for a breakout to the upside, and we'll continue to remain bullish and hold our long positions. So let's get into the charts and catch up with price action. So guys, if you're new to these daily updates, then I recommend starting with the recording that's pinned to the top of our Facebook page so that you get a good understanding of what I go through in these charts. This is our 3-screen setup. We have the monthly in the top left, weekly in the top right, and our daily chart down here across the bottom. Starting with the monthly, we can see that June is still looking like an indecision candle. And that's because it's finding resistance at the high of last year. Overall though, the trend is very much bullish. On the weekly, price above the 200 moving average, and it's holding above the 50 simple moving average and the 3000 round number. We want to see this area hold strong as support. Come down to the daily time frame, we can see that the pullback of yesterday, the bearishness of yesterday, came to the 200 simple moving average. So far today, price is finding support at the 200 moving average. Below that, we have the 50 simple moving average. What we want to see is price remain for now inside this area of consolidation, and ideally start seeing strength to the upside, and then the high of June cleared to suggest further strength to the upside. If we move across to the Nasdaq, starting with the monthly, we can see that June is printing new all-time highs. On the weekly time frame, price above the 200 and the 50 simple moving average, a good bull trend in play since finding support around the 50 simple moving average. If we come down to the daily time frame, we can see price above the 200, the 50 and the 20 simple moving averages. The bearishness of yesterday, and then so far today, we can see prices finding support at that 10,000 round number and the 20 simple moving average, as well as the previous all-time high just directly below that. So if we do see further weakness, then this will be the next area of support. But we ideally want to see the 20 simple moving average and the 10,000 round number hold strong as support, and then a move back to the upside. Moving across to the Dow Jones, starting on the monthly, very similar to the S&P 500. We can see an indecision candle, but it is some way off the high of last year. Overall though, the trend is bullish. On the weekly, price above the 200 but below the 50 simple moving average, where it's finding resistance. And on the daily time frame, we can see that price is in between the 20 and the 50 simple moving averages. It's finding an area of support. It is below the 200 moving average, but it's lagging behind the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. Ultimately, we want to see price find support and then move back to the upside. Like the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, we want to see price move through the current high of June to suggest further strength to the upside. Looking at the S&P 500 mini on the daily time frame, we can see that price has been finding support at the 200 simple moving average. So it's not surprising that we're finding support across the indices since the open of the day. And if we move to the FTSE 100, looking at the monthly time frame, we can see that June is also looking like an indecision candle, and that's because price is still finding resistance at these key levels. That's this monthly PIB9 level and the low of last year, which is acting as resistance. We want to see these areas cleared and then strength to the upside. On the weekly, price is below the 200 and the 50 simple moving average. And on the daily, we can see that the weakness of yesterday took price through the 20 simple moving average, but currently finding support at the 50 simple moving average and the 6,000 round number. So again, a significant level that we are aware of. So we want to see this area hold strong. We want to see price move back to the upside and then a breakout above the high of June and ultimately the 200 simple moving average to suggest further strength. So for now, it really is a waiting game. We can see price has pulled back from yesterday's bearishness. It's pulled back to key levels of support across the board. We're looking for these support levels to hold strong and we want to bounce back to the upside. So this is where patience comes in. You certainly don't want to be opening up short positions. It's a dangerous move to make. Focus on the long-term trend, but at these moments when the market is going sideways, apply patience. Okay guys, that's me for today. Please like, comment and share. Let's get people understanding how to use the indices correctly to build a solid investment portfolio, and I will be back tomorrow for the last update of the week.